Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Hi, Mary H. Thank you so much for being here. Lorna Williams, Joyce Anderson, Helen Marmon, let's see, B. Martim, Brenda Crane, Kathy G, Dan Speed 1, Stevie Ross, Mary H., Gwendolyn Daniels, and let's see, Lydia Washington. Okay, and Joyce some more. And a host of friends and others. Sean is here. Hey, Sean. Yes, Andrew is quite the sick old man. Okay. Let's see. Bonzola Adams. I love that name, Bonzola. Marcy Foreman. Little Mac. Antoinette Kennedy. Very cool. All right. So I'm going to take my face out of here. You know what? This is the wrong. I knew everything was going too smooth. This is the wrong. I knew it. I knew it. I'm like, I'm going to surprise them and be ready to go. And what did I do? I put the wrong thumbnail up there. So much for efficiency. See, it's better off when you F up here and there. You know what I mean? So that's what I get for trying to be efficient. Okay, so let me try this one more time, shall I? Because that is the wrong one, I promise you. All that efficiency is not exactly what it's cracked up to be. Yeah, that is from the Caribbean tour. Yeah, that's an old thumbnail. That goes way back. And you know what? Look like I did it again. Oh man. Looks like I did it again. Okay, let me try this one more time. Because I can't stand it. I have literally done it again. So I'm going to get rid of this and this. Wait. When I say get rid of them, I am going to super get rid of them. Now let me try this one more time. And if it doesn't work this time, I'm going back to bed. How's that? Okay. Oh, by the way, you guys, I finished watching Charlotte. I watched the Charlotte on Netflix. I loved it. I loved it. The acting was superb. I thought the young Dan Speed not Dan's. What was her name? Lady, lady. Oh gosh, what is her name? Anyway, I thought she was wonderful, and also the young Charlotte and the young George was superb. The acting that they had in that series was amazing. Dansbury, thank you, Lady Dansbury. Thank you, Lady T. I thought the acting was superb. So good. So good. And I love the Queen Mother. I love the Queen Mother. I love George the First's mother. Oh my God, she was so good. I don't know who played her, but she was so good. Oh my God, she was so good. She was awesome. I would say that the original Charlotte, the old Queen Charlotte, and the Queen Mother, and George, and Charlotte, they were all good. They were all good. But I'm going to say, yeah, you know what? I can't even narrow it down. They were all good. If you haven't watched Charlotte, I'm telling you, it was good. It was really good. At first, I mean, I got a little frustrated because I'm like trying. Well, okay, I don't want to give it away, but I'm just like, would you go ahead and you know? And it was just dragging on and on. But that is one of the secrets of Shonda Rhimes is that um, she can drag a story out, and by the time they get to the point, it was well worth the wait. I saw that with the Bridgerton series, a series that is. She can drag some stuff out, but by the time you get there, the payoff is magnificent. So if you haven't seen it and you have Netflix, it's only 6 episodes, and I don't think any of them were more than about an hour. So there's 6 hours of your life that you will be amused and entertained, and it was very thought provoking. What the big surprise for me, well, I won't say what the surprise was, but I wasn't expecting the storyline to focus on what it was focusing on. I thought it was going to be like this almost Hallmark Channel love affair. Well, it was that, but it was very gritty. And oh, anyway, I am fulfilled. My cup runneth over. I really, really enjoyed it. Let me see. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Who's here? Let me sue. I sound so American. I'm just ready to sue someone. Okay, Lisette Zog is here. Good morning, everyone. Should be sleeping, but if not, why not listen to Baron? Yes, very cool. Thank you. Rose is here. Hi, Rose. Got to watch that. Yeah, please do. Hello, Susie Q. And Deborah Robinson wants to say hello to a few people. Hi, Olivia Johnson. Okay. And B. Martin wants to say hi. Lydia Washington wants to say hi to a few people as well. Okay. And Deborah Robinson wants to say hi to a few people. Okay. Oh, Black Queen is here. Very cool. I see Sherry Ware is here. Okay, Leslie F. All right, very cool. All right, let's get on with it. So, this is one of my recycled thumbnails. I've been doing that lately. Sometimes I tell you, one of the hardest things to do is to try to come up with a thumbnail. I don't actually use one of those programs or software to make thumbnails. I usually make them myself, and it's easy when I can just, you know, take an existing photo. But here I had to kind of squeeze everybody together. I had to try to find the most attractive photos of William and Kate and the most attractive photo of Charles and Camilla. But I didn't have to work so hard for Harry and Meghan because, well, they're eye candy anyway. So they're the easiest ones to make attractive for a thumbnail. So, um, okay, let's get on with it. So Harry and Meghan are winners and losers. It depends on the day of the week. It depends on which way the wind is blowing. It depends on who you ask. And it depends on what looks like clickbait. Also, the real cost of dressing royal plus more shade. Okay, let's get on then. So 2 weeks ago, the press insisted that Harry and Meghan were losers with a capital L in 2023 and that people hated them now. And now they insist that the couple made $100 million this year. And that's a docuseries, I would say, and that the docuseries would be insanely popular. It's literally ever changing, ever made up for clicks. So that was the comment from one of the squatties. And I saw that and I'm like, you know what? I couldn't have put it better myself. That's exactly how it goes. It depends on who you ask, the day of the week, etc. But it's ever changing and it seems made up for clicks. Joy Amore, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. This may actually be one of the last super stickers I get for 2023. Can you believe that? It's almost another year. This may be the very last super sticker I get for 2023. Thank you so much. So Meghan and Harry will roll in money next year after making £100 million in 2023. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry managed to bag some lucrative deals after stepping back from the royal family, and one expert believes they'll make even more money next year. Well, I mean, isn't that the plan? I think everybody expects to do better the next year. Such is life. Where there's life, there's hope. Everybody expects to do better. But let's say, for the sake of conversation, that is the most earth-shaking, the most interesting thing I've ever read in my life, that they should expect to do better next year. Who writes this stuff? Somebody at the Mirror, obviously. So let us continue to the next slide. So what is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's net worth? Well, it says here how the former British royals made millions through lucrative business and media deals. Now, we can't know how much money they have. They may not even know the exact figure, but for the sake of conversation, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped down as working members of the British, that is, royal family in 2020. And since then, they have signed a series of lucrative multi-year deals, including documentaries, books, podcasts, and more, worth an estimated total of $135 million, according to Forbes. Key takeaways: Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have an estimated net worth of $60 million, according to the celebritynet.worth. The couple has signed a series of lucrative deals, including documentaries, books, podcasts, and more, worth an estimated total of $135 million, according to Forbes. In 2020, Harry and Meghan signed a $100 million deal with Netflix to produce a series of documentaries, docuseries, scripted shows, feature films, and children programming, according to Forbes. The simple answer is we don't know. We just don't know how much money they have and how much their net worth is and what they could expect to make in 2024. How much did they make in 2023? That is a mystery. At none of these times that I've seen something, I never hear them mention BetterUp. you never hear them mention anything about Clever Blends. And we don't know what else they have invested in. We don't know how much the Duchess of Sussex's residuals from her career as an actor can possibly be worth. And who knows what else. So they have set up a what is it? Is it a LLC or LPP or whatever it is? But they have a foundation, they have their production company, they have lawyers up the wazoo. They got everything that they need to be successful, including incredible connections. Petal is here. Hey, Petal, a Facts in 2 cents. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, let me see. What did I just watch on Petal that was so good? I think it was yesterday. Petal talked about, what was it? What was it? Oh man, I forgot, but it was so interesting. All of these topics are like bouncing around in my head, so do forgive me, but I was like, oh, that was good. But anyway, oh, wait a minute. I got to do something really fast. You know what? I'll just take my computer with me. But anyway, Petal, as per usual, excellent. Absolutely excellent. And always looking forward to learning something I did not know. There we go. Okay. I had to turn on the exhaust fan. Okay. So, but let me, you know what? I'm going to obsess until I figure out what it is. So I may as well just take a look. I may as well take a look. What was the topic yesterday that fascinated me so much? Okay. Okay. It wasn't that. Nope, it wasn't that. Oh, it was about the booze. It was about the booze. And yeah, I think that's what it was from yesterday. It was about the booze and how it may be some kind of anyway, it was just really good, you guys. So you got to go and watch Petal. And if you're not subscribed, you had better do it because you would be missing some amazing stuff. So that's what it was. It was the thing about the booze. So thank you. And then, of course, I managed to use it as a segue to my thing about it that I had yesterday. It was a heck of a segue, but it was a heck of a segue, but somehow I used it so that I could approach the subject of booze and the royal family. Um, as Beverly Leslie would say, Karen Walker, I thought I smelled gin and regret. Okay, I'm done. Yes, as you can see on the screen, there was my segue to that topic. Oh, okay, okay. Let me get back over here. Let's see. Okay, okay. Oh, very good, very good. Let me put that at the top of the chat so you guys can have the option to log in. I mean, subscribe. Let me do that. Okay. Okay, I got that. And then I did that. And got it. There we go. Okay, so I put Facts in 2 cents at the top of the chat for your convenience. Thank you, Lydia Washington. All right, so anyway, moving on from that, we don't know how much money the Sussexes have. That is not privileged information. Only they know the true net worth. But I tell you this, whatever it takes for them to be a billionaire in their lifetime, I am definitely going to support them in every way that I can, because where there's money, there is security for those two little ones who deserve the best, considering that that institution has been so cruel and thoughtless and mean spirited. So I want them to be super successful so they can afford the security that they need. They need. It's not about luxury and a lavish lifestyle. Security is paramount for our um, our Archie and Lily. Lex says, but wait, I read that they were 28 million in debt and they were asking William to move back. It was around Invictus after William failed Summit when I heard, really? Okay, now that's the first I've heard that. That is the first that I heard that they are 28 mil. I mean, that's a very specific number, $28 million in debt. But no, I did not see that. But thank you so much. And I am going to look for that article simply for amusement. Okay. Harry and Meghan, $28 million in debt. Uh, oh, I see. I see. Uh huh. Okay. Really? Prince Harry, Meghan Markle's financial woes trigger talks of return to Britain. Oh no, that is funny. That is too funny. Thank you, Legs. I needed that. That is too funny. Okay, so right here it says Harry and Meghan's 120 million combined net worth as of 2023. The projected combined net worth of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle is estimated to be around $120 million. It's important to note that this hefty sum doesn't solely depend on Meghan's acting career or even their recent business deals, which is a very interesting way to say we have no idea how much money they have, and that ain't nobody's business, but they are living well. They have untold amounts of bathrooms. The price of their home seems to fluctuate with the market as well as the capricious nature of the tabloid media to describe them as uber wealthy. So, whatever it is, I hope they make lots more. I hope they increase tenfold. And of course, they have been busy since they left Narnia. You have Invictus, The Me You Can't See, Elephants, the Meghan and Harry docuseries, Live to Lead, Archetypes, The Bench. And of course, again, our Duchess invested in Clever Blend. And Harry, of course, has his Travelers and his Better Up. And of course, he has been reaching out to actually, they both have been reaching out to the military community. They have been busy. They have been very, very busy. And there's just no disputing how hard they have been working in spite of all of the lies that the media has tried to sell. They have been very busy. And of course, there's going to be a massive rollout in 2024. And I believe they're just frustrated because they don't know what it is. And remember yesterday when I played Richard Kay, he actually uh, put a voice to that frustration. He was able to admit that they don't know what's happening until the absolute last moment. And that frustrates them. That bothers them to no end that they don't have a clue. But yet, time and time again, you'll see some article that says inside, the inside information, the inside scoop. They pretend, oh, look, there she is right there. Let me see if I can find that one from yesterday because I'm going to tell you guys, I got a kick talk of woes and sorrow about not knowing what the Sussexes are doing next. So let me see if I can find that. because I get a kick out of it. Mm. Okay. Oh, okay. There she is right there.
In many ways, it was an incredible book. It was brilliantly written, not by Harry, of course, but by his ghostwriter. It has some fantastic phrases, but I never thought for one moment that we got Harry's inner soul on the pages. We got the inner soul of J.D. Moeringer, the ghostwriter, who articulated many of his own views, it seemed to me, and distilled them through Harry. I mean, Harry is not a great creative thinker, as Katie and I know over many years. I mean, he doesn't have great depth, but this book presented him as a man with great depth who thinks about a great deal of things. But having said that, it was incredibly successful. It was very readable, and people and the public lapped it up. But they also accused him really of producing a misery memoir, which he was, with his litany of complaints, trivial beyond belief, against his father, his brother, his sister-in-law, his stepmother. I mean, the list goes on and on.
But you say he was a man without previous depths. We also know he's a man going through an awful lot of therapy. Is this Harry deep diving in his adult life? And is that what we were reading on the page, do you think?
Well, I don't know if I would say he didn't have, he's a person that doesn't have.
So you could hear, you could hear, what's her name? Trying to, oh, okay. So here's the other part of it.
Fruit next year. She is looking actively, I think, for a role where she can not just be a California girl. I mean, she wants to do something relevant. And we heard lots of stories during the year that she was going to run for office.
Yeah, that seems to have dissipated.
A senator retired in California instantly. Meghan's name was put in the frame. I don't think that's going to happen. Not yet, anyway. But what they need to do, it seems to me, going forward, is build bridges in the United Kingdom, in particular, with their family, perhaps get back onto social media in some way. Don't be so hostile. Be more open about what they're doing. You know, when they do something, we, the media, only learn about it at the very last moment. It's very hard to engage with them as a couple, engage with them as a very last moment. It's very hard to engage with them as a doing. You know, when they do something, we, the media, only learn about it at the very last moment.
Wait, what was that? One more time. One more time.
You know, when they do something, we, the media, only learn about it at the very last moment. It's very hard to engage with them as a couple. And I think there's room for big change there if they want to.
Spare was reportedly part of a 4-book deal. So,
oh my goodness. I heard violins playing. Now, who has the tales of woe? Is it Harry that has the tales of woe, or is it Richard Kay who has the tales of woe? Because all I could hear was, woe is me. We don't know what they're doing till the last minute. Woe is me. I wish they would get back on social media. Woe is me. If they could just build a bridge to their family. This started off as a vicious attack on Harry's intelligence. He attacked the book Spare, but by the end of his statement, all you could hear was, please come back, Harry. We know that you have no depth. We know you don't know anything. We know you didn't write a book, but please come back so we can have nothing to talk about. All I heard was, woe is me. And how pitiful it is that they have no contact with the Sussexes. So are you trying to have it both ways? That whole dribble that came out of his mouth was, you're not that bright, you're not that important, and we don't need you. But please come back. You cannot have it both ways. B. Martin says, please tell us you want, tell us what you want, what you're doing. We want to know. Exactly. Thank you. Please tell us what you're doing. We want to know. That is what he's trying to say. But it took about a mile of insults to get to it. So, and then of course, what's her name? Is it Roy Anika? Or whatever her name was. But the other reporter, she's like, well, I wouldn't say he doesn't have depth. He went too far when he said that. Harry has been, where's that at? Where's that at? When Harry was on the Me You Can't See, he was absolutely brilliant. When he had that conversation with that therapist guy, when he was on the what was that, the chair thing where I don't know, in the whatever that was, when he did that, when he was on Stephen Colbert, Harry is absolutely brilliant. And to say that this man is lacking depth is the height of ignorance on the part of the person saying that. You couldn't get a conversation like that out of anyone else in that family, not even Charles. You could not get a conversation like that. Charles talks a lot about what his opinion is. He doesn't talk about what people need. He doesn't talk about another person's suffering, the stress and strains of life. Harry understands, and he doesn't pretend that he has lived things that he hasn't lived. He doesn't pretend to have a lived experience on the level of the average person. He speaks of it as someone who has definitely been neglected by his family ever since his mom died, and someone who lived in a gilded cage. But he can identify and understand a lot of what other people have gone through, but he doesn't pretend that his existence was exactly on the same level as other people, but he's had his share of suffering, and he doesn't pretend to try to connect it with the rest of society, because it is still a life of privilege. And of course, he is still a white man from Britain, and now he's a white man in America. So there's always that advantage of being a white man in Western civilization. However, he can speak to other people's pain in a way that the rest of that family is unable to. So let's see. Leg says he has enough depth to hold his own during a trial. Hello. 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 Come on, Legs. You're absolutely right. He has enough to hold his own during the trial. Absolutely right. I'm telling you, that's why I said this guy is the definition of smug, self-righteous, self-satisfied, anything you want to say that has to do with being arrogant and entitled. He can't even speak about Harry without throwing a massive insult, even when he's trying to make the case for Harry to come back, or at least be more open. Speaking of making the case for Harry to come back, I am going to try. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys have ever, I don't know if you ever heard, and I know I'm getting a little bit off track, but stay with me because this is really, really interesting. Let me see here. Oh, is that it? Okay. This is really, really interesting. Let me see. Stay with me. Okay. Okay, I got it. I know what I'm looking for. Nope, that's not it. that little creepy man. Oh. Now, please do not smash your electronic device. Where is he at here? Okay. And let me make sure I still have it, by the way. This will be well worth it. Oh my goodness, I don't have it. Oh man, and I thought I had let me see if I have that someplace else. And I thought I had bookmarked it. Oh fudge. Oh man, sorry for my language. But I thought I had bookmarked it and I guess I didn't. Nope, that ain't it. Oh, I wish I would have had it, and I don't. Okay, sorry, never mind. I thought I bookmarked it, and I did not, so I won't be able to share it with you. So let's move on back to where we were on the other side here. If you just joined us, please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you are not subscribed, please make sure you do. Remember, after Mental Health Awareness Week, the courtiers told King Charles to heal the rift. The courtiers also asked for William and Kate to step back with the kids. I do not remember that. I don't recall that. Oh, interesting. Nope, I don't recall that. But thank you so much for sharing that. Oh man, I wish I could find that little creep. Don't know what I did with it. I wonder, let me see here. I probably went to bookmark it again for the second time to make sure I had it, and then probably removed it from the bookmark. That is so me. That is so me. Oh man. Okay. Never mind. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. What the heck is that? Okay. All right. So let's move on. Okay. Oh, YM Droid says, how slow? That's the kind of dimwit you dump and block. And years later, he still pretends you're still in a relationship. Check his college girlfriend and boyfriend or boyfriend. Thank you so much for that, YM Droid. Probably boyfriend. I'm guessing boyfriend. Let me see. Okay, let's see. So I have this right here. This is, I shared this with you guys the other day. This is another example of how busy the Sussexes have been since they left that island. And even though they are trying to say otherwise, to these squatties that have put these collage of information together, thank you so much for that. Since Prince Harry and Meghan stepped back from being a working British royal, they have accomplished much, even during the pandemic, which has destroyed the lives of so many people and animals. Let me see also their accomplishments they have reported to the IRS in the comment section below. So, and of course, they're speaking of their tax return. And Lorna Williams says Harry started a charity as a young man. Adult has, yes, it was Sentabale. He was what, 19 years old? Yes, absolutely. William, it took him until he was 40 to start the what do you call it, the earth flop, and that is his biggest accomplishment so far in life. Harry started the Sentabale when he was a teenager, and has been able to raise millions of dollars to support his charity. So, yes, thank you so much, Lorna Williams. And not to mention, Harry had to make a case to get money for Invictus. He needed more money to get Invictus started, and he had to present a case. Actually, he had to present a case to the board for the what was it, for the Princess Trust? No, not the Princess Trust, for the Royal Foundation. So he didn't ask William for input, but he had to go to the Royal Foundation, to the chair people or whatever, to ask for the money, and they gave it to him. And then, of course, look at the connections that the Invictus has. They had with Range Rover. Now they have Boeing. And of course, they were able to secure all of those tickets for free from Amazon, who sponsored the tickets for people. So, huh? And of course, the Travelers. And of course, Better Up. And the vaccine equity, the Vax Live, all of those things. Well, anyway, let's stop, you guys, because we're preaching to the choir, and we know what Harry is capable of, and it is good to remind each other. But that really rubbed me the wrong way. Okay, Celia Ohashi, thank you so much for the super sticker. And by the way, thank you so much, Lorna Williams, for the super chat. Okay, now moving on. There we are. So Meghan Markle's Hollywood wardrobe, Duchess of Sussex, was seen in new clothes worth more than £86,000 in 2023 as she partied with A-listers and posed on the red carpet. So this headline is way out of proportion. They're making it more than what it actually was. Meghan did that one, I think it was only one red carpet thing, wasn't it? And okay, one, two. Okay, if you count Ms., that was another one. And I'm trying to think, what else was it? But anyway, not really the traditional Hollywood red carpet. It wasn't. Just that one event was a real Hollywood moment. But the other ones, I don't think so. Meghan, 42, known for her expensive clothing and jewelry collection. How about if we substitute quality clothing and jewelry collection? Meghan wears very minimal jewelry, and they make it sound like she's running around here like Liz Taylor. Meghan wears very minimal jewelry that practically anybody could wear and wouldn't draw that much attention. It only gets so much attention because it's Meghan. Meghan also selects jewelry that has symbolism. It is more about symbolism and not about status symbols. So there's that. So when they say expensive jewelry, I resent that because she's not flashy with her jewels. What else? And parties with A-listers. Okay, and what? And what? Because it seems to me that if Mumbles tried to invite, what's her name, Dolly Parton over for tea, I think she was trying to hang out with an A-lister. And Chuck and Gladys, or Fred and Gladys, whatever they call themselves, weren't they trying to solicit people to play at that stupid concert? I would say they were trying to draw as many A-listers as possible. So it's a bunch of hypocrisy just in this headline alone. Okay. Let's see. The next step is to be standing outside in Montecito holding a boombox, asking them to take them back. I can almost hear, "Baby, come back." Any fool could see I was wrong, and I just can't live without you. Baby, come back. Yes, thank you for that. I hadn't thought about this song in a while. I was wrong, and I just can't live without you. Let me see. Yes, 2024 is going to be the year. Chuck and Gladys. Yes, Chuck and Gladys. Just had a vision of Indiana Jones. Yes, and first of all, nobody knows how much Meghan's clothes cost. I am sick of these liars. Designers are flocking to Meghan to give her clothes for free because what she wears sells out. Thank you, Lorna Williams. Thank you so much for that. B. Martim says, wait, didn't they say she won't wear any royal jewelry? The whole thing that gets me is that they're saying that she loves expensive jewelry. She wears, okay, Meghan wears pieces that come from jewelry designers that are usually a woman run company. There's symbolism. It's not very large. It's not like that missing necklace from the royal collection. It's nothing like that. Kate needs that kind of stuff to be interesting. Meghan does not. Meghan wore those little tiny earrings for that last red carpet she had. Little tiny, poquito, la petite earrings. Nothing flashy. But thank you, B. Martin. Okay. And YM Droid says, it's in contrast to Kate's, that is, cheap jewelry, which is a convenient distraction from the expensive missing royal jewels. Has anyone checked Carol's jewelry? Okay, so what YM Droid is speaking of is Kate loves to wear those pieces from the high street. Like when she wore those black gloves and the white dress, she wore these big dangly earrings that cost about 15 pounds. And dare I say, they were pretty cheap looking. They were not even nice, you know, Claire's boutique jewelry. They looked like something that a teenager would have worn back in the 80s. Remember when people were wearing like the fishing lures and the big earrings dripping down to their shoulders? She wore something in that vein. It was not very attractive at all. It did not go with her outfit, but neither did the black gloves. But anyway, so she wore that as a little stunt to show how she was being more thrifty by re-wearing the white gown, adding black gloves, and they tried to drum up all of this curiosity and interest about what she wore, and it was a big fat nothing. It was a big nothing burger, and everybody knew it. It was only the sycophants at the British tabloid media that was trying to make something out of it. And of course, the usual Hello Magazine and all those people, they politely said how glamorous she was and how innovative she was, but it was a fool. It was a fool. It looked an absolute fool. It was horrible. It was the white dress and the black gloves. It looked ridiculous. All she had to do was make over the dress in some kind of way on the shoulder, and it was awful. That was a terrible look. But they made a big deal out of it because they have to try to uplift those two posers. Oh, by the way, thank you so much for your super chat. Why do they care? Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Do the British taxpayers give her money? What's wrong with them? Well, I'm going to get to that. Let me get to that while I'm doing that. So yesterday, Kate Middleton's 162,000-pound wardrobe, Princess cut the value of her clothing in 2023 by 15,000 pounds, despite her 32,000-pound coronation headpiece. Kate, who's known, that is, for her love of British high street brands, often re-wore outfits. So this is because of the backlash. Again, it's because of the backlash that Kate has received lately for wearing these expensive clothes and going to baby banks and other poverty tourism sites, right? So they love to make a big deal out of how she recycled this dress or that dress. But when it comes down to it, when she needs to impress someone, she goes all out with the outfits, and everybody knows it. I mean, how many people would go out and buy a headpiece that costs £32,000, and it's not even a tiara? It looks like something from a bridal shop. It's like a bridal applique. It looks like one of those bridal crowns that you would buy for a wedding. It's not a real piece of jewelry. I don't believe that those are diamonds. I think they're crystal or whatever it is. But she paid £32,000 for that. And even if it was real, um, you could have either not worn a headdress, or you could have selected something from the royal collection. Now, technically, no one was supposed to wear tiaras except, actually, no one, because Camilla wore a crown. So there were no tiaras allowed. So Kate, being the mean girl that she is, decided to push against the request, and she went and bought a £32,000 headdress. And let's not forget that Charlotte also wore something very similar to that. But she decided to be the mean girl and to push back. So she didn't wear anything from the royal collection. She went and bought something that cost $32,000, which, believe me, if you look back at the price of some of those pieces in the royal collection back in the day, without adjusting for inflation, I'm pretty sure that's about how much those pieces cost. But now they would be so much more valuable. But she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. She wanted the appearance of wearing a tiara, even though they were told to not wear one. So over here, Meghan's Hollywood wardrobe, Duchess of Sussex, has was seen in clothes worth more than 86. Well, because of the article about Kate yesterday, they felt compelled today to throw Meghan under the bus, to make a big deal out of Meghan's clothing. Now, yesterday, the photo that they used for Kate's article did not include big, gaudy price tags. I repeat, the photo for Kate's article did not, excuse me, did not include large price tags. They got Meghan looking like Minnie Pearl, walking around with price tags all on her outfit, whereas Kate's photos did not include that. So apparently, this article was quickly written because someone from the palace probably said something about the mention of Kate's wardrobe. Now, if that's not bad enough, there's another problem going on here. Let me show you what that is. Oh, by the way, thanks, Squatties, that put this picture collage together. I so understand jealousy from haters and trolls who have no sense of self or self-worth. I mean, look at Meghan. She really is the gold standard. So there's Meghan wearing some pieces that are not terribly expensive, all things considered, but they are nice and, very tasteful, right? And the amount of items that Meghan has worn that sold out literally within hours, more than makes sense out of anything that she wears, because it really makes money for the companies and for the people that put those pieces together. Now, right here, 159,000 is not even the right amount. This is what someone alerted Kaiser. I saw this on Instagram. 159,000 pounds is not even the right amount. So not only did they feel a need to boast about Meghan, to boast about Kate's wardrobe, but they downplayed the actual price of it. And then, of course, we could not make Meghan seem like she has more money than Kate. So they had to, let me see, how much did they cut it? Almost in half. Yeah, they had to just about cut the actual price. Well, it is in half, isn't it? You see that? Wait a minute, 162,000. Yeah, so they is that half? Let me get my calculator. 162,000 minus 86,000. Yeah, so that's the difference of 76,000 pounds. So they decided to pretty much just cut it in half. So whatever Meghan's fashions are worth, let's make sure that everybody knows that it's worth half of what Catherine paid, even including that stupid headdress. I'm telling you, these people are doing the most, and they are so obvious, aren't they? They're so obvious. So you do an article about Kate. Kate's article doesn't include those big, gigantic, the price is right price tags. Then the next day, you write an article about Meghan, and Meghan's has the gigantic mini pearl, the price is right, come on down, price tags all over it, to try to make Meghan look as tacky as possible. That is so deliberate. That is so deliberate. Hello, this is the 1980s. We like those shoulder pads back, please. Let me see. Anastasia says 170,000 pounds that Kitty has been spending on her entire wardrobe, and the royal rodents are not even reporting that fact. And we know it was more than that. That's the whole point. Let me get back over here. So this detective right here says the Daily Mail has undervalued the cost of Kate Middleton's the Princess of Wales wardrobe in for 2023. So right there, they say it's 159,000 pounds. 18, let me see, the princess cut the value of her clothing by 18,000 pounds, and the coronation headpiece was 32,000 pounds. But over here, tactics the Daily Mail used to report an undervalued estimate of the true cost of Kate's wardrobe. Items that were unidentified were simply not added to the total cost in lieu of using the market value of similar clothing items. Did you hear that? If they did not identify it or could not identify it, they just didn't mention it. Items warned before not added to the total cost. This is only fair, but stay tuned for more. And then it says number 3, custom-made items, which is not the same as haute couture, were not added to the total cost or simply added at the ready-to-wear market price. You see what I mean? The Sussex Squad Detective Agency. Let me see. Custom-made or haute couture items undervalued or not added to the total cost. Alexander McQueen dress, custom. The Jess Colette and Alexander McQueen headpiece, estimated 32,000 pounds. The Giovito Rossi Rossi Pump, 650 pounds. Princess Diana South Sea Pearl and Diamond earrings worn before. Let me see. The Alexander McQueen custom made coat dress to the coronation was more expensive clothing item was the most expensive clothing item. A similar custom made dress worn cost anywhere between $40,000 to $75,000 or pounds. Let me see. Yet the Daily Mail simply decided to bill it under custom and not add it to the cost. Oh, sweater unidentified. That Roland Moret dress worn before Giovanni. Baby treasure necklace. Okay. Items were unidentified were also not added to the final cost. So the fact that they are not able to identify them makes them freebies. Okay. So there you go. They undervalued a great deal of her wardrobe. And that is how they made it seem like it was much less than what it is. Edna Joseph, Happy New Year, Baron Squatties from the Sussex sympathizers. Thank you so much for that, Edna Joseph, and thank you so much for being here tonight and for watching Royal Sussex. Let me see, did I miss anybody? Where? Okay, I don't think I missed anyone. Just making sure. All right. Thank you, Faith Miller. Yet zero reports of anything worn by Kate sells out. Absolutely. They don't mention it because it doesn't happen. Okay. Now, I think I did that already. And let's go here. So, you guys, yesterday I showed you the Christmas ornament of Prince William, the one on the left. Well, I never saw the back of it, but I saw the back of it today. Look at that. Look at the back of it. It looks like a cow just licked all of his hair off. That is a frightening piece of bauble to put on a Christmas tree. And then, if that's not enough, somebody decided, well, there ought to be a Kate Christmas ornament. And they got it right. The mouth is askew. Look at how the mouth is askew. They made sure that the mouth is askew. There's one eyebrow that's higher than the other. I would say that is a very good likeness of Kate. Is stiff, lifeless, dull, Kate. It is stiff, lifeless, rather glassy in appearance, somewhat opaque. Kate. That's Kate. I would say that is one of the most compelling likenesses of Kate I have ever seen. It actually seems more alive than the real Kate. I mean, just think about it. The mouth is askew. There's one eye that seems to jump up higher than the other. Kate. I mean, they had me with mouth askew. Oh my God. The first time I heard that, I thought I would have fallen out the chair, mouth askew. Ah, I love it. Okay. Okay. Let me get back into character here. So where was I at here? Oh yeah, the mouth askew. Oh no. Okay. So Christmas tree bauble of Prince William is slammed by royal fans who say it looks nothing like him. Yeah, I know, because the teeth aren't yellow. If the teeth look like butter, if it had butter teeth, I'd be like, William? William? Oh man. Okay. Now, there's Charles, right? Charles looks much younger. And there's Camilla. I mean, they have really captured Camilla's hair. As a matter of fact, I think those look really good. Those look really good. William looks creepy. Kate mouth is askew, and I think they've done a pretty good job. I would say, all in all, they have done a great job with these baubles. They're lifelike. I'm sorry, they're unlifelike. Their eyes are somewhat in that weird gaze, right? I think it's good. They've 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 uh, they've earned their keep. Now, you guys, there are some people, and all right, let me just say this: I don't care how it happened. I don't care how much money was spent. I don't care about any of that stuff. Martha Stewart looks good. And if money is what makes her look good, then so be it. Martha Stewart, 82, sets hearts racing as she stuns in sultry mirror selfie while wearing lacy nightgown. The 82-year-old cooking guru stunned fans with her sexy snap. Martha gave the camera a sultry pout while donning a silver nightgown. Fans raved about the thirst trap. Who writes this stuff? And couldn't get enough of her beauty. Thirst trap? Thirst trap. Thirst trap. Okay. Anyway, here goes the big reveal. That's Martha Stewart. She looks good. Now, that's Martha Stewart, 82. And this is the Queen Consort, 76, 82, 76, 82, 76, 75, 82. She looks good. She looks good. Now, if that's not enough, take a look on the left side. That was her Sports Illustrated. I'm getting Angie Dickinson, right? She reminds me of Angie Dickinson, but she looks good. She looks good. Martha Stewart looks fantastic. This is what money can do for you. And if that's what it did, then so be it. I don't care. Even to have money, she looks good. She doesn't look artificial. She doesn't look phony or fake. Her mouth is not askew. She doesn't look bloated or plasticky. She looks good. She doesn't look weather beaten and downtrodden. She doesn't look like a troll. You know what? I think I know what it is. It is Snoop Dogg. Whatever companionship, whatever libations that Snoop Dogg brings to the party, it seems to suit her. So I don't know if it's just his company. I don't know if it's the brownies that he bakes for her, but something is helping. B. Martin says, Baron, warning, please. Yeah, Camilla does have a way of kind of sneaking up on you, doesn't she? I mean, you're just sitting there minding your business, and next thing you know, here comes Camilla. Like this. Kind of like a foghorn. It's like when you're in the little dinghy and you're in the harbor and you're trying to get to the shore, and without realizing it, a big oil tanker has kind of snuck up behind you. So, B Bar Tim, for now on, that is going to be your warning. Anytime that I introduce Camilla, I'm going to make sure that you get adequate warning. Ah, okay, let me see. Snoop has Martha rocking to gin and juice. Come on, Reba Henderson, you got that right. Something agrees with Martha. Something or somebody is keeping her young. Yep, somebody or something is keeping her young. So, of course, there is AI. They said that AI is changing things on the internet, and it takes AI to make Camilla look that good. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure exactly. Somebody probably said to I want Camilla to look like she worked at one of those houses, and I want Charles to look like Hugh Hefner. And so this is what the computer's idea of Hugh Hefner and somebody that works at one of them houses. This is what it suppose it looks like. And then the one on the right side, that's like Phil Spector and that's like Phil Spector and one of those solo singers from the Lawrence Welk show. She looks like somebody who was on Lawrence Welk, right? You know how they used to spray that hair, that big hair like that? It almost seems like she's wearing the Queen of the Netherlands. Remember Queen Beatrix? Beatrix used to make her hair huge like that. What is it about those old ladies that all of a sudden they want to wear the big helmet hair? Why do they do that? It's like the older they get, the higher their hair is, the more Aquanet they use. I've always wondered about that, where they have like that cotton candy hair and they just poof it up. What did you say one more time? I don't know why, when I first saw that photo, the only thing, yes, the beehive. Thank you, Kim Peaches. Let me see. Baron, you got me. I wasn't going to, what's that, chats after a 16-hour, oh, you wasn't going into the chats after a 16-hour shift, but just about to enter the shower. Okay, okay. Well, be careful. Be careful. There might be a foghorn. I mean, an oil tanker behind you. Oh man. Oh, it's because their hair is thinning and they want to tease it up. I get it. Let me see. Seabiscuit always looks like her breath stinks. Oh, well, William too. William too. Okay. All right, let me get back over here. So, school accused of indoctrinating, indoctrination after partisan lesson on Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and racism. Now, I totally missed this. I did not know that this was a thing, but apparently, I think this happened in 2021. Primary school children were asked if the Duchess of Sussex would have uh, haters if she was white in a lesson described as one sided. So apparently, some Karens decided, that there was something wrong with this lesson. Primary school children are being given lessons on the royal family, race, and propaganda, as 9 and 10-year-olds are asked to consider whether the Duchess of Sussex would have as many haters if she were white. Um, Year 5 pupils at a state school in Manchester have been asked to consider whether the Duchess's treatment by the bad media led to her leaving Britain and her role in the family. Worksheets posted by teachers on social media show young pupils sharing their conclusions that people think that the royal family have been racist to Meghan, stating she was treated differently because one member asked if her child would be black or white. The lesson at Birchfield's primary school in, what is it, Fallowfield, was condemned by campaigners as incalculating a set of a cultural value, a set of cultural values in a way that is very close to indoctrination. Okay. The school head teacher insists the debate was balanced, constructive, and thoughtful, allowing young people to discuss the big topic in a safe and supportive environment. Pupils were given a lesson on the royal family derived by an online BuzzFeed article. The project, part of the topic on the royal family, included the more traditional naming of kings and queens in history came to light after year 5 teachers. So I think it was constructive. I think it's a way, like they said, in a safe space where they can express their thoughts about it. And of course, they said the same thing that Hillary Clinton said. It was race. I'm not surprised. No, that's what Hillary said. She said, I'm not surprised when they asked about what the Sussexes had went through and what Meghan had went through. Hillary said, I'm not surprised. She ought to know. But so this is a little close up of what you see there. I think that these newspaper articles are ridiculous because everything that Catherine is doing, the caption is positive and perfect. However, the photos and captions are negative and just not nice at all, in my opinion. I think is showing pure inequality. And I also think that whoever made these articles do not care about showing kindness or something. It says, and research something. It kind of cuts off at the bottom there. But you see there, they literally cut the articles out and pasted them in their notebook. And I'm not even going to try to see that other page there, but the kids know. This is why they are so panicked about the royals and the young people. And I'm glad they had this exercise. So the next time that someone says that the royal family is racist, they will have this to consider as a way to demonstrate how that institution has conducted themselves where Meghan is concerned. It's a lot of denial, lies, gaslighting, and all that other stuff. So I'm glad. I'm glad for this article. I'm glad that the children had a chance to express their feelings. I'm glad they let the royal family know that they're poop stakes and everybody knows it. So you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you cannot fool those children. Those children are not jaded. They have pure hearts and they know what they see. It doesn't matter. They know what they see. They can see that there is an absolute bias in those articles, and they don't pretend to be fair. So that's why I love the young people, because they just say it with their full chest. They'll say it. Okay. Teachers are helping the students develop media literacy. Ha! Yes, Miss Monty. Absolutely. Media literacy, and is gravely needed in our schools. Okay. Let's see. Tashmax says, I don't want my children to grow up in the world obvious to our history. I'm sorry, oblivious, that is, to our history. All of our history. Okay, thank you for that. All right, let me go on to the next thing. Harry and Meghan ordered to say sorry to not spend next Christmas alone. So we talked about this yesterday. But then someone pointed out here on the right side, if King Charles has forgiven Fergie, there could even be a way back into royal life for Harry and Meghan, writes Richard Eden. But first, they would have to say sorry, and there is no sign of that anytime soon. You got that right. You got that right. Not anytime sooner or later or ever. Harry said that if you want them to apologize, you have to tell them first what it is they have done wrong. If there's any chance that the Sussexes will apologize, first you got to tell us exactly what have we done wrong. But they're not going to do that because they don't want to open up that conversation, because as soon as they start trying to make their claim, staking their claims to mistreatment, then of course it's going to open the door for Harry and Meghan to do the same. And they don't want to do that. Okay. So if you look right here, there is Fergie. Fergie has finally made her way back. Now, I just want to remind people that one of the ways Fergie managed to make her way back into the good graces of the royal family publicly was because of Harry and Meghan's wedding. The Sussexes made it a point to invite Fergie. And Fergie, of course, was doing the deepest curtsies, and she was smiling and waving, and she looked like she was running for governor. I mean, she was so animated and full of life. Just Fergie. Lovable Fergie. Everybody's friend Fergie. I mean, Fergie was so happy and so jolly. I swear it looked like she was about to stick her foot in somebody's mouth. I'm like, look at Fergie. She is about to get them toes out any minute now. That's how excited she was. Just as happy. Yes, exactly. Sherry says Fergie was cheesing like Cheshire Cat. Exactly. I mean, she was she was doing cartwheels and doing the running man. She was doing some of everything. I mean, she was just so happy. Look, y'all, I'm outside. I'm at the wedding. Y'all see me? I'm at the wedding. Yeah. It was almost like Sugar Avery. Oh, Miss Seeley, I feels like singing. I'm glad she didn't sing, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Tashmax said they mentioned that Fergie returned is because Philip didn't want her around, but he died 2 years ago, so why wasn't she welcome back last year? This is a ploy to make the royals look like a family. Well, it has been done incrementally. That's what it is. It has been done incrementally. And last year, I think they were just waiting. They do look at the polls. They do look at the polls, and I think sometimes the royals actually pay for these polls. But I guess they felt like last year it was just not the time. Or it could have been because Fergie said that she has been diagnosed with cancer. She may have not been available last year. It could have very well have been that she was invited and just could not go. So uh, it's hard to know. It's hard to know, but she may have very well have been welcome to show up last year. Okay. Or, like you say, the royal family just want to look good. Lex says, didn't Fergie say you can't have in and out? Which is exactly the first thing she was trying to do. But she not only is she half in and out of the family, she's half in and out of her marriage. She won't even remarry because she don't want people to stop calling her the Duchess of York. But thank you, Legs. Very true. Very true. So right here, you can see the Sussexes, unapologetic, and of course Meghan um, hasn't even bothered to go to the coronation and is not likely to do anything with that family anytime soon. But whatever the case may be, they made it very clear that the Sussexes were not welcome and would not be treated well, especially during the Queen's funeral. So, I don't know why I put that there. You know what? I think I know what it is. I was trying to point out the difference between the Sussexes and Sarah Ferguson is just this. The Sussexes don't have to make up because the Sussexes are not living on royal property except for the one that they own. The Sussexes are not trying to, what do you call it? They're not trying to profit off of their titles. Sarah Ferguson doesn't have anything but her title. Harry and Meghan, they do not have to use their titles to be profitable. They can get by on the strength of their celebrity, of their personalities, of their talent. Um, Sarah Ferguson doesn't have all that. Sarah Ferguson, the only thing that she has going for her is she does have a good personality. People do like her, especially the doctors of podiatric medicine. They love Sarah Ferguson. She has brought more attention to podiatry than just about anybody else. So, and aside from that, yeah, I mean, she's okay. People like her. People identify with her in some degree or another, whether it's her weight, whether it's her daughters, whatever it is, people identify with her, and that is part of her gimmick. But the strongest thing she got going for her is being the Duchess of York. Even though she is divorced from her husband, she still gets the Duchess points. Now, this is some of what Sarah has tried and failed to make money. A children's book, right? Weight Watchers, biscuits, selling access to her husband, all of those things that she has done to try to make money. And at one point, she even kicked off her shoe, rolled off her sock, and stuck her foot in somebody's mouth. None of that stuff seemed to help. And of course, this is the reason why Sarah was estranged from the family, is because her financial advisor and Sarah were seen by poolside. And as someone pointed out to me earlier today, there is an expectation of privacy even when you're, at a swimming pool. even though you can be photographed, it's really not fair, which is why we don't share most of those paparazzi photos on Royal Sussex, is because it really is not fair. Um, and of course, there is that rather interesting relationship between her ex husband and the accused that you see there, those two. And of course, Weinstein. And it was even like a family business at one point, where, as you can see right there, Beatrice's lavish $500,000 18th birthday bash at Windsor Castle. Well, where did that money come from? Where does any of that money come from? Right? So there's some dodgy stuff there. And of course, as I said, trying to sell access to her ex husband, all of those things spell doom for Fergie. But there was only one person who was really enforcing the hostility against Fergie, and that was Prince Philip. Prince Philip, who glanced at a woman in a vehicle and thought it was Fergie and decided to plow through the intersection and T-boned her car and broke that poor woman's arm. Um, and of course, that is when the tabloids referred to him as the Duke of Hazzard. That incident, uh, Philip was furious with Fergie. And so anytime they went to Balmoral, if Philip was on his way, then Fergie would quickly leave. Philip could not stand the sight of her. Not at all. The Queen was more sympathetic. King Charles evicts Prince Andrew, the sick old man, from Buckingham Palace after the scandal, with disgraced royal no longer being allowed to have an office in the building or use this address for correspondence, sources claim. Sources claim. So yeah, between the two of them, they have been an absolute scandal. But like I said, the Sussexes are not dependent upon the royal family financially. So they are not in a position where they would even need to come groveling back, because they can pay their own way. And of course, there's Fergie with the green outfit. That was at the Sussex wedding. And there she is. Look like she's dancing a jig. She's so happy to be there. Ooh, she happy. Now, that is done. Now let's go to this. I just want to say that I do believe that there was some serious damage done to the brand of the royal family because of Endgame. And we saw the hectic response, hugging Black people, going to baby banks, food banks, and poverty tours, and posing with street magazines. All of that was a reaction to Endgame. So, haven't heard from Omid Scobie for a little while, but I hope he's okay. I haven't seen him doing any interviews or anything like that, but for security purposes, he was forced to leave the UK. Let's see. Nathalando says Fergie brought back to boost Andrew's image. Oh, that's a good one. Which is currently in the doldrums. The Sussex's image does not depend on UK taxpayers' opinion. They are doing real hard work. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you for that. Jose Williams says, what makes the royal derangers think the Sussexes spent Christmas alone is a constant guessing game for the royal editors. Yes, you're absolutely right. They don't have the information, and because they don't have the information, they just guess. And plus, it makes good copy for them to say that they spent Christmas alone. They want to picture Harry and Meghan having their furniture repossessed and sitting on top of crates and boxes and burning candles and taking broken furniture and feeding it into the fireplace for heat. They want people to think that the Sussexes are living like some characters from a Dickens novel. That's what they're expecting. They want people to think that the Sussexes are like characters from a Dickens novel. Sir, please, may I have another? Yeah, like Archie's running around. Sir, please, may I have another? And then, of course, Harry gets a spear and goes out trying to forage for food in those hillsides and such. Yep, that is the type of life that they want us to believe that they're living. I wish I could find that video that I was wanting to share with you guys earlier. It is so pitiful, it's funny, and I don't know what I did with it. I promise you, it is so pitiful, it's funny, and I cannot find it. It was on one of the, let me see if I can find this thing. Lord have mercy. I am so sorry. I lost it. But I'm looking for it. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I know it was one of the squatties that I saw it on their Twitter. And I'm scrolling through to see if I can find it. And I kind of think, no, let me stop. I don't know. But it was really good and I wanted to share it with you. And I don't know what happened to it. Let me try one more thing. And if this doesn't work, I give up. Or maybe if I type that character's name, I don't want to say who it is. I would rather just share it with you first, and then let you cipher. By the way, let me see, who was that yesterday? Oh my goodness, was it Sue? No, it wasn't Sue. Whoever bought my big mug for me, I love that thing. I'm gonna drink so much more water now that I have that big gigantic sippy cup. I am so happy and excited to have it. So thank you so much. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Let me see. Okay, it's hopeless. I don't know where it is. I had it and now I don't. Ugh. Frustrating. All right, one more. I'm going to try one more name. And if this doesn't do it, then I give up. I see Oprah trying to do the electric slide with those knee replacements. I was actually feeling kind of nervous for her. Y'all know, she was it a knee or a hip she had replaced? But yeah, I was sitting up here looking at her doing the electric slide. And I'm just like, Oprah, you better be careful, girl. You better be careful. Don't start pop locking just yet. Because you are, if I was you, I wouldn't. Okay, you all, it ain't working. I cannot find it. So right here, these are the handful of things. King Charles called Harry that fool over Netflix. Caution in conversation with Harry. Has his shoelaces ironed. Told royals not to trust Harry. Let me see. Meghan told Charles there are two royal races. Also, Meghan does not want to return to England. Personally phones Scobie after death threats. Let me see. And for Princess Anne, the claim that Anne was the one who had the Sussexes or suggested that they were evicted. And then, of course, Prince Harry doesn't care if he doesn't get an apology. Let me see. Kept in dark about the Queen's death. And I think most people knew that one for sure. Terrified of doing anything than grinning photo ops. Hasn't spoken to Meghan in 4 years. Has she spoken to anybody in 4 years? I know she's tried. Prince of Wales, let me see. No going back for relationship with Harry. Harry brainwashed by an army of therapists. Yeah, remember in California, there's something. They're like the Hell's Angels, but instead of riding around on big motorcycles, instead of riding around on Harley Davidsons, you have all of these doctors in white coats that ride around in BMWs, like the Hell's Angels, and they look for gingers from the UK that they can indoctrinate with all kind of psychobabble. So yeah, they're not as tough as the Hell's Angels, but they're just as sinister. And of course, that's what William is talking about: is that Harry has been brainwashed and indoctrinated by a gang of psychotherapists, all of them. And you know what? This is the thing. When they find an unsuspecting ginger, they bundle them into their BMWs and then force them to lay on a couch and talk about their childhood and their potty training and their frozen Todgers. So yeah, William is on to something. I'm gonna have to agree with William that there is an army of psychotherapists out there in California that have abducted one redhead too many and have forced them to realize how terrible their families are. Yeah, William's right. I'm gonna have to side with William with that one. Yeah. Let me see. Kept Scobie away from royal engagements. Thank Pierce Morgan for defending the firm. So yeah, all of these things came out, and Omid Scobie has, I think he's caused problems for them. And even though some of the pressure has subsided, I don't think that so many people will forget. I think people who understand that institution will be affected by that. Let me see. Sometimes they even offer coffee. Ah, yes. Tell me about your potty training. They attribute everything to potty training. Let me see. Yes, William needs to see a few of them doctors himself. He ain't wrapped too tight. Oh, Lisa. Thank you, little Mac. It wasn't Sue. It was Lisa that gave me the water bottle. I'm so sorry. I couldn't remember the name. Thank you, Lisa. You guys, it is so cool. You know, um, it's just like the one the Duchess had. It is identical to the Duchess water bottle. Let me show it to you. I am so excited about this thing. Ah, there it is. There it is. There it is. Someone found that on the official Royal Sussex wish list and sent it to me. They didn't send it, they sent it to me. They sent that to me. Simple modern 40-ounce tumbler with handle and straw lid, insulated cup, reusable stainless steel water bottle, travel mug, car holder friendly, gift for women, men, him, her, Trek collection, and of course, it's the right color, almond birch. I am so excited. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Greens and pig feet. Give me a pig foot and a bottle of beer. Blame me, baby, 'cause I don't care. Sometimes I feel like I just want to clown. So give the piano player a drink because he's bringing me down. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. So, right here, um, this is what everyone's waiting for next year's announcement. Again, it's not likely to happen, but I love sharing these photos. The reimagined image of Christmas. And of course, I guess the only way that we can make this look for real. I just thought about that. Maybe we shouldn't. Woo! I just had a gruesome thought. Let me hurry up and get out of here. So take a look here. This is the magazine article from Germany that had to do with the Duchess of Sussex going to the Trevi Cafe. During her visit to Dusseldorf, the Duchess stopped by the Special Daikani Cafe. At that time, she made a promise there. About 3 months ago, during the Invictus Games, Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, visited the Trevi Cafe or Daikani, Dusseldorf. Let me see, through the Archwell Foundation, funded by her and her husband, she has now donated 4,600 euros to the institution in Oberbilk. She also gave the girls and women who visit the cafe several boxes of cosmetic products. They had requested the cosmetics from the Duchess during their visit on request. By the way, you guys, I have to say that I was looking at Sherian, and she had a fundraiser tonight, right? I think it was she had a fundraiser tonight, which I think is amazing. What's cool about it is that it's a very formal fundraiser, and even though we have raised funds on Royal Sussex for different causes, um, I haven't done any of those formally, and so I'm gonna have to look into that because it is a very good idea, and it gives you a chance to whatever donation goes directly to them. So I'm gonna have to look into doing that one of these days, but probably in January and February when things might be a little slower for the Sussexes and there's not as much daily news stuff to talk about, then maybe I'll do it then. So, but it's a good idea, and I thought that was super cool that she did that. There is the milk ad, Jersey Cattle. That is that milk ad, of course, from Peter Phillips. It's a Chinese milk ad. And again, if our Duchess has been accused of profiting from her connection to the royal family, even though she has not used her title for commerce or trade, but she simply had a cameo appearance for a product that she believes in and that she has invested in. And of course, they made a big deal out of it, even though Charles made the family wear those scarves from one of his royal estates, right? The Highgrove Heritage scarf. Everybody in the family wore it on Christmas, and all of the magazines and the newspapers were telling people where you could buy them, but it is the double standard. If Meghan does a cameo, it's a problem. But if Charles makes everybody in the family parade around like ducks wearing those scarves, then of course it's acceptable because it's Charles and not Meghan. So I'm just saying you have to be prepared to push back against these derangers and their terrible accusations. Now, let's go on to Spare. Rachel Cole Community Library, #1 book, Spare, by the Duke of Sussex. And then, of course, what is that? Williamburg Regional Library. Is that what that means? Anyway, and the award for the top nonfiction digital book at the WRL in 2023, Spare by Prince Harry. Spare was a top listen for user who love ebooks and audio books and blah, 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 blah. So Spare and Spare. Now, check it out. The Paul Morden Prince Harry Tell-All was the most borrowed book at Lambton County Library in 2023, wherever that is. Prince Harry's top Lambton County Library most read list in 2023, a British royal family tell-all by Prince who decamped for California, topped the list of the most borrowed books of 2023 at the Lambton County Library. Very cool. Now, Prince Harry, Dogman, and World of Curiosities. Here's Lambton County Library top book for... Is that the same place? No, that's a different place, isn't it? No, it isn't. Oh, well. And then, of course, the Saanich News, Spare, to Matthew Perry's Celebrity Memoirs, top Greater Victoria reads. And next, there is the Times Colonist. Wow, that's an interesting name. The Times Colonist. Prince Harry Memoir, most borrowed library book of 2023 in Greater Victoria. Though usually for nonfiction books to emerge as the most popular book across all genres, Spare garnered a lot of attention even before it was released. Of course it did, because it's Spare. Indian Trails Public Library. Take a look at some of the top reads from members participating in our 2023 Rise to the Challenge Reading Challenge. Did you read any of these books this year? Spare. Okay. And check it out. The 100 most watched telecasts of 2023. NFL Oscars, Gordon Ramsay, NCIS, and a single Yellowstone episode. But number 40 on the list, number 40, most watched shows of 2023. Number 40 was 60 Minutes episode. Let me see, S55. Season 55. God, they've been on 55 years. So season 55, episode 17, Prince Harry, and it was produced or directed or whatever by Hans Zimmer. And of course, Anderson Cooper gave the interview. 12,464,000 views. It aired at 12,464,000 people here in these United States. Watch that interview. Yeah, that's how many people in the United States watched that interview when it aired. 12 million, 12.5 million people. Bravo. Bravo. Lizette Zog says, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the mightiest of them all? Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, the Queen of Hearts. Amen to that. Thank you so much, Lisette, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. And Happy New Year to you. Now, meet the Edinburghs. Meet the Edinburghs. Meet the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. Richard Eden's second-class titles are an insult to unsung heroes Prince Edward and Sophie. King Charles should give them an immediate upgrade to reward them for their hard work and loyalty. Read my opinion and let me know what you think. So apparently, Sophie and Edwina has been milking the press for attention again. This is the same thing that happened before they got that stupid title in the first place. Edward and Sophie, let me tell you, back in 1999, when they married, Edward and Sophie had a written promise from the Queen and Charles that when Philip dies, they would get that title, Duke of Edinburgh, Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. But Philip died, and it still took Charles about a year and a half, or was it 2 years, before he finally gave. I see you, TB. I see you. But it took them about a year, 2 years before they finally gave the title. Now, what took so long? Heck if I know. But Charles was being very capricious. As a matter of fact, I do believe that Charles had threatened to give that title to Sophie. And so Edwina and Sophie, Ford Fiesta, went on a campaign where they were calling in favors from everybody in the press to get the ball rolling and to give that title safely ensconced in their names, as promised. Now the Queen could have conferred that title before she died, but because Charles was being the regent, now officially they never said that Charles was a regent, but Charles worked as a regent in all but name only. Charles was handling all of the Queen's business. And so it was really up to Charles. And this is why the Sussexes lost their security. It wasn't the Queen's call. Charles decided that. This is why there were so many things that affected the Sussexes in such a terrible way. It was because the Queen, who at the time seemingly was terminally ill, and they just did not listen to her. That is my opinion, is that the Queen did not have any say for probably 2 years before she died. And so everything was up to Charles. And Charles decided, when Philip died, to drag out the process of giving Eddie and Sophie that title. They took the title of Wessex, the Count and Countess of Wessex, because they were waiting for Philip to die. And Charles, being cruel as he is, made them wait that much longer, unnecessarily. But he was just doing the most. And then finally, at a time when he needed the attention, he decided to confer that title to them. But there's just one little caveat. They cannot pass that title to their child, Viscount Severin. They cannot give him that title. Unlike the Sussexes, where Archie someday will become the Duke of Sussex, unlike the Cambridge title, unlike the York title, well, actually, I don't think the York title can be passed on because there aren't any boys, right? They had the 2 girls and not a boy, and I don't think it can go to a grandchild. So I think that's the end of York, right? Yeah, I think that's the end of York until they probably pass it on to either George or Louis. Wow. Or George and Louis or whoever. But the York title won't be seen for a while. Let me see. Baron, if Edwina dies first, does Sophie get to keep the title Duchess of Edinburgh? Um, that's a good question. I think that they would still call her that unless she remarries. But I think that the title eventually still goes back to the crown. So I think that she would probably keep it until. I don't see any reason why she wouldn't keep it, but I could be wrong. But it's said that when Edward dies, the title converts back to the crown. So maybe she doesn't get to keep it. Maybe she goes by a lesser title, like the Dowager Countess or something like that. Ooh, that's a good question. I wonder. I wonder. I don't believe it's going to be a great year for King Charles. He is looking very thin, and William is yummy for power and transfer. For the power to transfer to him, royal family is going to be warring among themselves this year. They'll try to keep it discreet, whatever they do. They are going to try to keep it discreet. Let's see, Baron. Maybe the reason why the Queen sat all by herself and alone at Philip's funeral, maybe she was fed up with Charles and William. Well, the Queen was in isolation at the Windsor Castle. So if she would have sat with the rest of the family, then she would have been exposed to contamination or infection from them. Now, in spite of that, Charles went and had lunch with the Queen, and the people on staff that was near the Queen, they worked in shifts for a week or 2 weeks or whatever it was. They were working in shifts. And so they were tested before they could be around the Queen. They were living in isolation. However, Charles went and had lunch with his mother, and that is the only possible source that I could think of, in my opinion, that I'm going to allege. The only possible way that she could have been infected by the pandemic was exposure from Charles, who has been confirmed to have had the pandemic twice. So that's the only thing that I could think of. Charles was one of the first people to have it in the family. And then he had it again. And Camilla had it. And I believe, well, you know what? I don't think they ever said William and Kate, but I do believe that that family went on some of those royal visits and they were taking the bug around with them every place they went. And I do believe that there is a possibility that the Queen had been exposed because of Charles' visit. And then, of course, they said that the Queen is going to be watched because first Charles announced he was sick. Then they said they're going to keep an eye on the Queen. Then they said the Queen was sick. And of course, this was in the span of 2 weeks. I remember this. I even have the headlines saved. I have them. And then they said that the Queen had suffered because of an outbreak at Windsor Castle. You want to know what the outbreak was? I'm going to tell you what the outbreak was. In my opinion, I am going to allege that this is the source of the outbreak. That is the source of the outbreak. That's the only thing that makes sense. That's the only person who would have the caucasity to come in from off the street and be around his mama snotting and blowing like a GD fool. Okay. So anyway, Edward and Sophie do not get to keep the title, but I think they are keeping an eye on the future and they are trying to secure that title for their son. So even a about a year ago, Richard Fitzwilliam, Sophie Wessex boosts royals with huge success in U.S. after Meghan and Harry's damage. Sophie is an exemplar of a hardworking member of the royal family with a relatively low profile. She does a great deal of good. Now, I don't know how she convinced him to say that, but again, Sophie and Eddie have been campaigning. So this was before she got the title of Duchess of Edinburgh, right? And then now that they have the title, now they're working on getting the title for their son, which is why you see this big fuss about them having a second class title. That's because they have a title, but they cannot pass it to their children, not to the Viscount. So there's Sophie, brooding, angry, sad, broke. She deserves to be a duchess. Fans go wild for new favorite royal Sophie Wessex and call for her to become Duchess of Edinburgh. See, this was part of the campaign. This was part of the campaign. She was at the state dinner and she was looking so sad and so pitiful that they started speaking up for her, right? You see this on the left side? This is Sophie, who I have no sympathy for, sitting there trying to throw shade at Meghan, giving Meghan the side eye at the Westminster Abbey, looking sad because she's not a duchess. And look at this. Look at the bottom one there. You see it? Look at how she's looking at Meghan. All through the funeral, she kept cutting her eye at Meghan like Meghan had done something to her. Are you mad because Meghan was a duchess and you had been in that family since 1999 and you still was not a duchess? Is that why you're upset? And look here on the right side. Rumor has it Edward and Sophie are separated, but won't fully divorce since they need her as a working royal, allegedly. Subtle hint today. She rewore necklace with diamond letters, this time sans E for Edward. Yeah, now flaunting only L and J for Louise and James. Huh. Isn't that interesting? So she's wearing the necklace again, but there's no letter E. Huh. What's it all about, Eddie? What's it all about, Eddie? What's it all about, Eddie? I am convinced that those palace courtiers are actively listening and reading our comments. Now the sham over up appearance. Okay. Thank you so much for that. Let me see. Why aren't Edward's kids prince and princess? I kind of think that they didn't want the title for them, that they were going to just stick with the Viscount and Lady Louise. I don't know. But I think they turned it down. Just like what's her name? Princess Anne. She didn't want the title for her kids, Peter Phillips and Zara the Tongue Ring Tyndall. She didn't want the title for them, so I believe he turned it down. Now, there's Annie Get Your Gun. Look at Sophie looking like Annie Oakley. So when you dress like that, when you walk around with your hair a mess, you're wearing that horrible print skirt, you're wearing those what do you call it? Those Hell's Angels leather daddy boots and that frumpy raincoat like Columbo. Does that look like a duchess to you? In what world does that look like a duchess? If I was to show this photo to a classroom in the UK, I bet you most of the kids would be like, "Who's Annie Oakley?" They would answer like Jeopardy, "Who's Annie Oakley?" She looks a mess. She looks a big, sloppy mess. So if you want to know what took so long for her to become a duchess, look at the state of her. Look at her. She looks like she's there to clean the house, not to accept flowers, not to do a walkabout. She looks like she's there to do the cleaning. If I opened up the door and I was expecting a royal visit and I opened the door, I would be like, the servant's interest is on the side. Please, madam, retreat and go to the side. That is where you'll find the servant's entrance. I would not suspect that that was a member of the royal family. Not at all. I would have thought that the cleaning lady was there. I'd be like, where's your bucket and your mop? Where's your rags? Where's your bucket and your mop? Now, if she's trying to be shabby chic, that ain't it. That is not anybody's version of shabby chic. That is a hot, hot mess. Wow, I wish I could find that video that I had earlier, and I just don't know what I did with it. You know, I'm still looking. I don't see it. Huh, there's got to be here somewhere. Oh, the Sophie tapes. Somebody woke up on the wrong side of shady. What do you mean the Sophie tapes? I don't know anything about a Sophie tape. I don't know nothing about a Sophie tape. You dig? Nothing at all. I've never heard of a Sophie tape. Oh, the shade. Listen, let me be shady. I don't want you guys to go to the dark side. I'll be the shady one. I think in the Sophie tapes, that's the tape where you offer access. Let me see. This Sophie tried to sell access too, right? She had some kind of incident where she thought she was talking to a sheik, right? And just to show you how dumb she is, isn't that the same thing that happened to Fergie? How could you make the exact same mistake that somebody else in the family made? You know, I could see if it was a one of, but you turn around and do the exact same thing. How crazy is that? You would think that, okay, one made the mistake, so that's the end of it. Then another one do it. Another person who seems to be an embarrassment to the family. Although I couldn't tell you who was more scandalous. I couldn't tell you who brought more scandal, Sophie or the other one. I would be hard pressed to figure that one out for you. I'm going to say the foot in the mouth was probably the worst of it. Probably the foot in the mouth. But no, because they were asking Sophie about her husband's sexual preference. So that was kind of messed up too. That was kind of messed up. So yeah, but they were both a scandal. Yes, they were both a scandal. Oh boy, I cannot find that video. I'm going to try one more thing. Let me see. Okay, I give up. It's not coming. I hate this. I tried, you all. I tried. I went to all of my old reliable sources and nothing. I know it was from an account that I just friended that person. Oh, wait a minute. Or did I get it from here? Huh. Huh. No, that ain't it. Oh, that ain't it. Okay. Okay. Let me stop. Let me stop. Okay. Gotta stop looking because I can't find it. Let's go on. So right here, you can see sad, pitiful Sophie glancing at the uh, back of Kate. You see that? That sad, pitiful Sophie looking at Kate because at the time, Sophie wasn't a duchess, but Kate has been a duchess and then the Princess of Wales. And Sophie had not advanced as a royal princess since 1999. And so, because of these very sad, long faces, Charles finally granted the Wessexes their title as the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, with only one big gigantic caveat. You cannot pass this title to your child, James the Viscount Severin. He will never, ever, ever be a duke. Isn't that cruel? Isn't that cruel? So, after all of the joy of the promotion of her upgrade had worn off, now she's pushing to get the title. And by the way, you guys, I do think that the title should go to James Severn, Viscount Severn. I think he should get the title. I think it's unfair that they want to revert the title back to the crown. That is, it's unnecessarily cruel. And speaking of unnecessarily cruel, take a look at Sophie cussing out the security. Sophie, who only barely got into the family herself, back in 2011, she decided that she would yell at her security. She's in his face, waving her finger and everything else. And you know what's interesting about this? You know what's interesting? The fact that they were calling Meghan a bully and trying to get her canceled for being a bully, when the truth is, everybody in that family, and I do mean everybody in that family, has been a complete horror to their security people. And if you've read Harry's book, you'll know that he was no exception. When he was young, he was reckless with his security people. All of them have been very cruel to the staff. The only person who I know has not been cruel to the staff was Meghan, which lets you know that they are using that projection of who they are against Meghan. I do not believe Meghan has ever been cruel to that staff. If anything, she was exceptionally nice to them, um, and tried to create a very fun work environment. She was using all of the tools that they use in corporate America to keep the employees engaged and productive, right? The team training, the team building, and all that kind of stuff. But the problem is, she was dealing with people that don't like to work in the first place. The staff at Kensington Palace, they're not really used to doing an 8-hour shift or an honest day's work. That's something that is unusual for them. So, um, ooh, Baron, I searched Sophie and the Sheik and on YouTube, and a few clips came up. I love it. I love it. Sophie and the Sheik. I like you. Ah, Sophie and the Sheik. Let me see. Hazel Jones. I think whoever is the patron of the Duke of Edinburgh Award is going to have that title. Oh, okay. Yeah, but that shouldn't matter, though. I don't think that that should matter. I think that that title should go to the Viscount Severin. That's part of their slim down monarchy that they don't want so many titles being inherited. But I think that title should go to the Viscount Severin. That kid hasn't done anything to anybody. They're just cruel. Now, one thing that I would say that is second class, I mean, look at this. Sophie seems to have a second class body. She has a second class title and a second class body. Now, don't ask me how I was able to procure the x-rays of the Duchess of Sussex and the newly minted Duchess of Edinburgh, but I did. And as you can see, there seems to be a bit of a deficit. Meghan has that serene, elegant, royal posture because she was royal before she ever married into that family. And poor, downtrodden, dumpy, sloppy Sophie, poor Sophie, with her displaced spinal cord and her weird rib cage and that goosey neck of hers. Poor Sophie, so inappropriate in so many ways. It's just something about poor Sophie that just doesn't seem to align. So not only does she have a second class title, but she's got everything about Sophie is second class, just second class. There's nothing sophisticated or elegant about her. Oh, she pretends, but is this the best she can do? Like, for instance, take a look here. Um, who is your favorite royal during the coronation? King Charles, 8%. Queen Camilla, 2%. William, 17. Kate, 12. Prince George, 2. Charlotte, 5. Louis, 3. Harry, 43%. 43% of people that viewed the coronation seemed to think that they were of the opinion that Harry was the best thing at the coronation. Even Princess Anne with that gigantic feather, 3. And Prince Edward, 1. Sophie, 1. Lady Louise, 0. James, Earl of Wessex, 1. Princess Beatrice, well, it runs out there, but Harry was a big hit. So not only has she a second class title, and she has that very dumpy looking second class body, posture. She has that very dumpy looking second class posture, but she's not even visible here. She's not even visible. Where is she? Where is she? Look at that. Prince Harry crowned coronation favorite, 66% on this one. Where's Sophie? Where's Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, who's doing an exemplary job? Where is she at? I don't see her. Huh? Huh? Where is she? I see the what's his name? James, Earl of Wessex. I don't see Sophie. And then right here, Sophie Wessex news. Countess shows she's ready to take over from Meghan Markle and Harry. Is she? Is she? She's really ready to take over for Meghan? Ugh. 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 Okay. Just because you got your husband to put a red lining in his suit, just like Harry has a green lining in his suit, copycats. And just because your husband's big Joan Collins, Joan Crawford, Crystal Carrington shoulder pads doesn't mean anybody's going to pay any attention to y'all. Americans who like Duchess Meghan Markle or Prince Harry are more in favor of abolishing the monarchy. As a matter of fact, Americans who favor Duchess Meghan Markle, 28%. Americans who favor Prince Harry, 23%. Americans who favor William, 13%. And overall Americans, 18%. Those are the people who are ready to dump the monarchy if it was up to them. Now, here's a tricky one. Prince Harry is a quarter of America's favorite royal, followed by William, then, Kate, and then William, and let me see, and then Meghan, Charles, and Camilla, the Queen cohort, the Duke of York, and Beatrice, Eugenie, the Earl of Wessex, Prince Edward, the King's brother. I wonder whether they're not calling him the Duke of Edinburgh here. Oh, they hadn't gave him the title yet. And then, of course, there is George, Louis, Charlotte, Lily. All of them are counted in one group. And, of course, the other is 1%. Who knows who that is? There's 21% that says none of them, and don't know, 18%. Connie Ballmer! Hey, Connie Ballmer, thank you so much for the Swiss francs. Connie Ballmer, thank you for the super sticker. And thank you for watching all the way from Switzerland, where it is probably 7 a.m., I think. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. So, you guys, let me tell you, Harry, 25%. It would be much more than that, but for the hate campaign from the British tabloid media. Meghan, 12%. I'm not upset by that number, and I'm going to tell you why. Because William and Kate has gotten the mother of all easy passes. They have been given a favorable report day after day after day. They don't stand for anything. They don't do anything. They don't know anything. And is kind of like, it's like a corpse. It's very difficult to be angry at a deceased person. And for all intent and purposes, they are practically non-existent. They're non-entities. They don't do anything. And whatever they do is usually with somebody else's money. So it's easy for them to score the way that they score on most of these things because there's nobody after them. There's not a concerted campaign from the right-wing media, the British tabloid media, the constant briefing and leaks from the houses of Windsor. They have none of those things. They don't have those things working against them. So it's easy for them to maintain a score like that because nothing ever changes. Ever since 2018, they have had a free ride. And all of the hostility, all of the mistreatment, all of the misinformation, and of course, all the truth that would have been mentioned or written about them has been focused on two people. As a matter of fact, I don't even know how the Duke of York made it to that list, but yet he's on there with a favorability of 3%. So I am not upset about Meghan's 12% number. It is a skewed poll for the simple reason that there has been a hate campaign And as Barack Obama said, if somebody had told me the things that are said about me and I didn't know myself, I wouldn't like me either. And that's just the way it is. So don't even pay attention to those numbers. It does not mean a whole lot in the big picture. There's 29% that eats up a great deal. As a matter of fact, if you look at the 29 and the 21%, that is half of the people right there. That is half of this poll is consumed by none and all of the kids. And then if you look at that 18%, well, what's left? You have those few numbers. Again, don't even pay attention to this. That is not the point. The only thing that I wanted to point out to you, that is in spite of everything that they've done, Harry is still ahead of his brother. Harry, as a matter of fact, was polling higher than the Queen for a couple of years. Seriously, Harry was polling higher than the Queen. Harry was like 84% approval. The Queen was like 81. And I'll tell you another thing that they have ignored about the polls. Consistently, for about 20 years, the most admired woman in America was Hillary Clinton. And there was even a year when Hillary tied with Michelle Obama. The reason why Hillary Clinton was no longer able to score as number one was for two reasons. One of the reasons is even after they left the White House, Hillary still scored above Laura Bush. Laura Bush wasn't even in the top 5. Oprah Winfrey was usually number 2, right? Oprah Winfrey. And then eventually Michelle Obama came on the scene, and Hillary and Michelle were tying for number 1. And then it was Hillary number 2, Michelle number 1, Oprah number 3 or number 2. The Queen did not score as most admired woman until after she died. She had to die to be the most admired woman. And it's the same with the world poll, the most admired woman in the world. The Queen was not scoring in the top 5. I don't think she ever scored in the top 5. It was just about everybody else and then the Queen. So that's what I'm trying to say. These polls are very skewed. And why did the Queen score so high? Because the Queen didn't take a position. The Queen never said anything. The Queen didn't do interviews. The Queen didn't have to do anything. She just showed up. No disrespect to the Queen, but it's very difficult to make a mistake if you're not doing anything except for getting dressed and showing up, smiling and waving, which is what Kate does, is grinning, laughing, and waving with her mouth askew. And of course, it's always in front of a camera, and then it's a little jazz hand, right? And then the mouth askew, a little more jazz hand, and then she's done. So it's easy to get those scores. Now, if you look at this chart, from age 18 to 24, Harry 29%, Meghan 19%. And this was in the Sun, by the way. This was in the Sun. And of course, for the demographic, it was Harry and Meghan for the top 2. And there's Kate down at 13, Anne 14. Charles didn't score as high as his son. And then Charlotte, William, Camilla, Eugenie, Louise. So a lot of the votes are divided amongst people that aren't even working royals. Yesterday, a young English student visited my coffee shop, and he told me that the majority of young people don't really care for the royals, but they love Harry and Meghan because they are cool, he said. I believe that. I believe that. The young people love the Sussexes, and that's just the way it is. They love the Sussexes. The rest of the royals, not so much. They don't even care if it wasn't a royal family. They'd rather have an elected head of state. Thank you, Rose. We love Meghan and Harry. Amen. So you can see here, when it comes to Google searches, now let's say popularity is not who you like, but it is who is spoken about, who is referenced the most. Well, we already know Meghan is the most relevant and the most popular, as far as I'm concerned. That means popular. Popular doesn't just mean that you like a person, that is who is spoken about the most, who is searched the most, who is seen the most. Well, Meghan scores twice as high as Harry, it appears. Yeah, she's twice as high as Harry. And then after that, Kate Middleton, who is put on the cover of magazines just because the magazines are in bed with the royal family. Kate Middleton, you have to go all the way. Let me see. Meghan scores about what, almost 4 times higher than Kate? Almost 4 times? Well, 3.5 times higher than Kate when it comes to Google searches. Yeah. And then, oh my God, Prince Andrew. Kate is only just above Andrew for searches, yeah. And then Lizzie, Chuck, William, Camilla, Eddie, Beatrice, Eugenie, Zara, and Sophie. Oh, Sophie finally made it. Heavens to Betsy. And look at the pie chart. Look at the pie chart. 32.6% of the searches are for Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. So this explains why they are constantly trying to dress Kate to look like Meghan so that people might accidentally come across her on the YouTube. Otherwise, who would waste their time looking for her? Not I. Royal family favorability ratings. So Charles, who has been, and by the way, let me see what the dates are on these. So I want you to bear in mind, this is from January 2023. This is what, about a month after the Spare. No, this was the month of Spare. And then, of course, about a month after the docuseries, right? So just think about where we were in January of 2023. And then look at this chart again. And then take a look at this, which is dated. Where's the date? 11/13/2021, which is still consistent today. Meghan is always more popular on the Google searches. Every time I've seen one from the UK, Meghan is always number one. Now this one, what is the date here? This is from January the 16th, 2023. So royal family favorability rating, to the extent, if at all, you do not have a favorite or unfavorable, view the following public figures. Anyway, as before, it pretty much spells out the same thing. And that is the Sussexes have been viciously attacked by the tabloid media for a sustained period, and it has definitely affected their favorability rating. But I just want you to look at the bottom, which is why I say I wouldn't even worry about it. Oof! Looks like Harry's book and TV show just blew up in everyone's face. No one came out of this better off in the public mind. Nobody has come out of this better off. Everybody has taken a hit. And the sad thing about it is, this would not even happen if the Kensington Palace, if Clarence House, if Charles and Camilla, Will and Kate had not made life unbearable for the Sussexes. If they had not ran the Sussexes out of the UK, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But because of their spite and jealousy, because of their indecisive nature, because of their need to try to raise their profile and popularity, this is the reason why we have Spare, Endgame, a docuseries, and whatever else is coming down the pike. They did that. None of this would be necessary. You might even still have numbers that would be respectable for all. But Charles, whatever advances he had made in his character, has been undermined by the fact that he's been plotting against his own child. So much so that Harry was evicted from his home in the UK. Not once, but twice. They had to leave Kensington Palace. And so the Queen sends them over to Windsor, and that wasn't enough. They got evicted from there twice. First, they were run out because of the vicious press, and then they had to turn over the key. So you could say they were evicted twice from the same house. And they paid for a house they don't live in. And just to go to show exactly how ridiculous this whole thing is, take a look at that. What in the world has Edward done to earn those medals? Guess who is the veteran, and guess who gets to wear a uniform at the funeral? It's unbelievable just how out of touch and petty these folks are. And tell me that is not a strike against the royal family. Their need to try to punish Harry, they actually are hurting themselves. What exactly did you do to win these, Eddie? Nothing. There must have been some major flak flying in your 1-month service in the Marine. Yeah, there must have been a conflict we never heard of when he was in the Marines that he earned all those medals before he quit, before he threw in the towel. But I will say this much. If there's anybody who's been a winner, it is the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, because unlike Sophie, Sarah at least is being called a duchess and has always been a duchess since she's been in that family and out of the family. And the Queen has given her the gift of the corgis, which I'm sure came with some money. How else could she have afforded that house? And then, of course, the Queen even made sure that she would be privileged to a funeral at the St. George Chapel and even buried in the royal burial grounds as the mother of 2 blood princesses. So Fergie has done pretty good for herself, but second class, second rate, sloppy, frumpy Sophie, what did she get? A doggy doo hat. The Queen gave the corgis to Sarah, to Fergie, and Sophie got the doggy doo hat. The Queen's last gift to the Countess of Wessex. The Queen had the footman go out to the garden and grab a couple of those turds from the corgis, and she had them meticulously wrapped into a bin liner, and then she presented that gift to Sophie as a fancia that one might wear on royal occasions. And she's been wearing it ever since. So Sophie gets the doggy doo, and of course Sarah got the corgis. And I think it's fair. I think it's fair. because Sarah, whatever you think of Sarah, Sarah, she does everything to the fullest. She does everything to the fullest. But, well, we all know that Sophie is full of it. And not only is she full of it, she gets to wear it. And with that, you guys, I am done. Thank you so much. I don't know how in the world we keep going 3 hours with Royal Sussex, but something has got to give. I don't know how this happens. It's like next thing you know, tick, 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 and this hours have gone by. So, but I do thank you, and thank you, Connie Balmer, for coming in to say hi before we finished. And thank you, Elaine Parker, who's probably sleeping right now, but thank you for coming. And thank you to the moderators for keeping this a safe space as per usual. Um, as our Duchess says, no bad energy. Very important. But yeah, thank all of you. And also, during this holiday season, some of us may find ourselves feeling a little alone or sentimental. And of course, we may be thinking about those that are no longer here. That, especially if you come from a big family, that comes natural. But just remember to reach out to your friends and family and loved ones, um, and try to spend some quality time with someone. Treat yourself to a movie or something. Go for a walk. Even if it's cold outside, it is good to get that fresh breeze on your face. Fill your lungs with fresh air. Um, and of course, again, a moment of silence for those that can't be here in memory of all the loved ones who cannot be with us this holiday season. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for that moment of silence. But yeah, remember to reach out to people if you're feeling the pressure of the holiday. I must admit, so far it's been a really good holiday season for me, and in spite of all of the losses over the years and everything, I feel like it is my duty to live the best life possible every day. That's the best way to honor the people that are no longer here with us, is to live your best life. Be generous, be thoughtful, make sure that you are living a life of gratitude. Be very glad for the blessings that you have. That's one way to bring positive energy, is to remember to be very glad for the blessings. Gratitude is so important. Okay, so that's it for today, and we'll let that be the last word. Um, oh, my share says, in memory of my mom who passed away in November, one day after her birthday. Oh, thank you for sharing that with us. And Lisette says, also missing my family from South Africa, missing the beach and our Rainbow Nation. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see. And YM Joy says, thank you for that, saying a holiday prayer for my mommy. Okay. And Cookies and Cream says, everyone, please continue to pray for the Sussexes, each other, and the world. Amen. Amen. And all of those people in, what is it, in the Congo, Yemen, Gaza. Yeah, there's so much conflict, and I'm really affected by the way it affects these children. So that I didn't think I would ever see on television as often and as much, and even on social media. But yeah, uh, wherever these people are in this world, everybody just wants to be happy and to love their families and to um, bless the people in their lives. I think that's important to everybody. So let me see. Yes, Sugar Plum, New Year's Eve, the annual Royal Sussex. New Year's Eve, we're going to start at 10:30 Central, which is 11:30 Eastern Time. And we're going to continue until it is midnight in California on the West Coast. We're going to continue. So we'll have a countdown for all 4 time zones here in the continental US and Canada. We're going to have a countdown for all of the time zones. So, looking forward to that. So, I'm going to try to find some fun stuff for us and little riddles and what have you. And it should be fun. Oh, who's sleeping a little bit more? Connie Bomber, you going to get some more sleep? I stayed up last night watching Charlotte. And I had been doing really good because you guys know sometimes I'll stay up all night. But the past week, I have been doing really good. I've been getting up at a decent hour. But today, I got up at about noon because I was up watching Charlotte. I'm so glad I did watch it, though. Oh, and did you all hear that The Gilded Age is coming back for another season? The Gilded Age is coming back. I'm so happy about that. Sherry says, I lost my dad early December 6 years ago. Oh, no, December 6 years ago. I miss him every day. Yeah, we never grow up until we lose our parents. That's what they say. You never grow up till you lose your parents. Let me see. Dutch me not. Mom, dad, nephew, and my 2 brothers till we meet again. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Dutch me not. Okay. Let me see. Lorna says, to all those who had loved ones who passed away this year. Thank you, Lorna Williams. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the holiday season is always a time to think about family and such, but remember to live your best life. That's the best way to honor your loved ones is to live your best life. It's a way to honor those who have passed is by making the most of the time that you have, um, being kind to people, thoughtful, appreciative, and positive. Try to be positive. Try to encourage, especially the young people. Got to encourage the young people because you'll be amazed at how many young people go day after day, week, month, year, and not hear the kind of encouragement that they deserve, that they need. So I try to make it a point to do that whenever I can to encourage the young people. One of my favorite things to do is to encourage them to travel and to see the world and to learn more about the world so that they can be a better citizen to the world, to their neighbors, better family member to their families, is to get that knowledge. So, but yeah, that there's things that we can do to honor our family, our ancestors. Let me see. Okay. I think I better make sure that I don't have any sauce until after I'm done, right? Because it might get weird if I do. But you enjoy. I'm gonna try to stay straight until after I'm done with New Year's. Okay. Yeah, don't you love that? Don't you love that? Um, when you can feel your ancestors, when you can feel your family with you, your loved ones that passed away, when you can feel they're with you, um, that's an amazing thing. That is an amazing thing. You don't feel so alone, and you feel protected. It keeps you from feeling alone, and you can feel protected. Okay. Diane Hawkins says, on the 5th day of Christmas, I wish you 5 golden rings. I think for the 8th day of Christmas, I would take some wings with mild sauce. How about 5 golden wings? 5 golden wings, 1 cornbread, 2 French fries, and an order of fries. Smothered in mild sauce, please. I could go for a decent chicken wing right now. Let me see. Amen to that, Mary H. You never know what somebody's going through. Okay. All right. So, love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow because we are creeping into that 3 hour, which is about an hour and a half more than what I planned. But I don't know. Some days it just starts building, and I'm just like, oh, one more slide. One more slide. And the next thing you know, let me see how many slides did I have today. Today I had 57 slides. Yesterday, I don't even know. Yesterday I had a bunch of slides. Yesterday, I think it was more than that. Yesterday I had, can you believe it? No, only 55 yesterday. I think Christmas I had about 80. Yeah, I think I had 80. Way more than I intended to, but we'll see. All right, so I'm gonna go. Let me. Did I do that? What else am I missing? I'm missing something. Okay, we had our queens up, right? Okay, and I guess I'll go back to the top. And then I will do the Ginger Avenger, and we're good, okay? So, love you guys, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for being here. And good night, Jerry White, wherever you are. Good night. All right. Let me see. Oh, okay. I know what I need. Nope. All right. I'm out of here. I got to find that video that I was looking for today. Got to find that video. Oh, I know what I didn't do. I didn't do this. I knew it was something. So thank you, Connie Balmer, Lizette, Legs, B. Martim, Etna, Joseph, YM Droid, B. Martim, Celia Ohashi, Lorna Williams, YM Droid, Legs, B. Martim, Legs, Joy, More. There we go. I knew it was something. I was sitting here, I'm just like, what did I forget? That was it. Okay, and where is it? Where is it? Cue the Ginger Avenger. Okay, I'm still here. I was still looking for that video and I cannot find it. I am just so disappointed I was looking for that. I just can't accept that I can't find it. I just can't accept it. I'm like, I know that thing is somewhere. It just makes me want to blow my... Yeah, it makes me want to blow my top. Yeah, I want to blow my top. Yeah, I want to let off some steam. Oh, okay, I'm done. The video is gone. I cannot find it. They may have even deleted the video. It may not be because I didn't save it. It may have been deleted. So, nothing to be done. Just say goodnight and good night. If I find it, I find it. If I don't, then it's no big deal, right? Right. Okay, good night, y'all.